the premise that we're actually entering into is that there's an audience that's being formed, and it's getting larger every day, that today's television advertiser can't actually reach unless they're using online video. And then the other premise is that online video is much more expensive than television. And actually the research and data that we're showing is that yes, with online video you can reach that audience that's the hardest to reach with television, and that you can actually do it at a pretty terrific price. Consumption patterns are changing, and so television dollars are shifting. Our advertisers are telling us that. I mean, literally as recently as last night, I had a client that was telling me that she wants to shift her entire budget from TV into online video. So that's pretty significant. Consumption patterns look a little bit like this. At work, it's the PC, very clearly. At home, yeah, it's the television, but is that television time-shifted television? Is it connected TV? And then in between those two, you have the smartphone and the tablet. And the smartphone is on the train, it's at the park, it's in the pub, it's wherever you might be, other than in home or in office. So when we see those consumption patterns changing, and then we're bringing research out into the market that shows that the buy is actually very efficient, that the CPM can actually drop, that gets very significant. The third part of this is, and this is where it gets really interesting, is that, and we have the data to demonstrate this, take $5 million. Shift $1 million of that $5 million TV spend into online video, and now you've got 1 + 1 = 3 is what we're affectionately calling it. So meaning that you sprinkle a little bit of online video into there, your effective reach goes up and your effective CPM actually drops. We now have a couple of campaigns that are running. So they're actually running across 3 screens. We're running across web video on the PC. We have mobile device, so we have video running through mobile, and now we're also getting into connected TV. So we're actually working with a number of very large electronics manufacturers that are allowing us to place ads in various applications across their deck, if you will, across the UI of that television. So it's, if you went to CES last year, it was all about the 3D TV. That didn't go out so well, but now what we have is if you go to CES this year, it's entirely about connected TV. It's about, and every television that they've sold over the holidays and going into 2011 actually has a wireless device in it. So you're going to be able to go without having all, the whole stack of boxes. That was the other thing, is that it was ease of use for the consumer. My dad can literally set up a connected TV now. So if I look at my children, and this is 13 and 16, I look at them as a focus group of 2. And for the last 2 years, I don't think they've seen a 30-second ad on traditional television. The only way that they're going to see that advertising is through their devices. Whether that's the PC, whether that's their mobile phone. Now they've got a tablet, and we have connected TV as well. I think you've got, attention spans are minimal, and the only way to actually get that is in a request kind of mode. If it's in a very complacent mode, I just don't think advertising is going to be very effective. But if somebody is pulling content and their only choice is to watch 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and we can create that in some kind of interactive environment, then I think an advertiser, and at scale, and that's where a network is really going to come in. If we have more and more relationships across these large electronics manufacturers, then I think we're going to be able to create scale as the YuMe network. So we've got terrific scale on web, we're getting good scale, and we're getting more and more scale on mobile every day. And then I think as you get into 2012, that's when we're really going to have scale in the connected TV. So if I can bring you an 18 to 34-year-old male demographic who's interested in SUVs, in market for an SUV across multiple screens, I don't think the advertiser cares. I think the advertiser cares about the reach and cares about the demographic and putting the right ad in front of the right person at the right time. And it doesn't really matter to them if we put it across 3 or 4 devices, just as long as their ad gets seen.